Deathstroke goes by a lot of names, and when he was introduced in New Teen Titans #2, everyone called him the Terminator. Even though he debuted in 1980, a full 4 years before James Cameron's time-traveling cyborg franchise, eventually Deathstroke the Terminator was shortened to simply Deathstroke to avoid confusion and legal tangles. At the tender age of 16, young Slade Wilson lied about his age to enlist in the US Army. His unprecedented skill in killing and war tactics caught the eye of his instructor, Captain Adeline Kane, on both professional and romantic levels. Both aspects of his life advanced rapidly, becoming a highly decorated soldier and also the passionate husband of Adeline. Shortly after the birth of their first son, Grant Wilson, Slade was asked to participate in a military medical experiment, ostensibly to increase resistance to truth serums. Of course, this was really an attempt to create metahuman super soldiers. Slade's body and mind reacted violently to the experiment, and he had to be sedated and removed from active duty. In actuality, the experiment worked and gave Slade enhanced strength, speed, senses, stamina, and reflexes beyond that of any ordinary man. More importantly, Slade was now able to use 90% of his brain, making him hyper-intelligent. Okay, so by now everyone should know that this whole we only use 10% of our brain thing is a myth, but this was the 90s and that was still a thing. Slade hid these abilities behind a desk job, hunting big game and having a second son, Joseph Wilson. This lasted until Slade's war buddy, William Wintergreen, was captured on a mission and disavowed by his superiors. Slade went full Rambo, going in unauthorized and alone to save his friend, in a costume to hide his identity. Enjoying the rush, this kicked off a career as a mercenary and assassin that he kept secret from Adeline and his boys. However, those worlds collided when a criminal named the Jackal threatened Slade's younger son Joseph. The assassin's refusal to violate his personal code of honor prevented him from divulging his employer's identity. Instead, Slade attacked the kidnappers, but couldn't prevent the Jackal from cutting young Joseph's throat. The boy was alive, but unable to speak for the rest of his life. Adeline was so angry at Slade's choices that she shot him. His superhuman reflexes kept Slade alive, but his wife's bullet took his right eye. That half of the mask for his Deathstroke the Terminator persona is now black and fully covers that half of his face with no eye hole at all. Without the mask, Slade usually wears an eye patch. Depth perception aside, Slade's strength, skill, and intelligence make him arguably the greatest pure fighter and killer in the DC universe, well ahead of Batman in one-on-one contests. Like Deadshot, he is deadly with firearms, but he kills with an array of weapons like knives, swords, and some kind of staff that fires projectiles and energy. He later acquires injury healing regeneration powers, though it doesn't grow back his lost eye. The mental toll of his Deathstroke persona destroyed Slade's entire family. In order to be like his father, eldest son Grant tried a similar enhancement procedure. He became the Ravager and tried to kill the Teen Titans, but the serum quickly killed him instead. Mute from the cut by Jackal's blade, tormented younger son Joseph inherited telepathic control abilities and teamed up with Nightwing to stop his father's schemes. Ex-wife Adeline got Slade's regeneration abilities from a blood transfusion, which drove her mad enough to ask for a mercy killing from Starfire. Finally, daughter Rose cut her own eye out to prove herself to her dad, so Deathstroke pushed her away to the Teen Titans to try to save her from his destructive influence. Deathstroke has appeared in many media adaptations from video games, animated TV, animated features, and live action, but his character dominated 2 recent series. Calling him Slade, since the censors thought Deathstroke was too upsetting for kids, he was the primary antagonist on Teen Titans. The series doesn't address his backstory, family, or method of getting powers, but simply joins Slade in progress as a criminal mastermind who wants to destroy the Titans for unknown reasons. Like in the comics, he has one eye, a 2-tone mask, superhuman strength, superior intellect, fighting skill, works with Hive, is obsessed with Robin, and attempts to use Terra as a mole to bring down the group from within. On Arrow, Slade Wilson was a deadly warrior of the Australian Secret Intelligence Service, who became stranded on the island months before Oliver. Slade was the first to teach the shipwrecked playboy how to fight and survive. Like the comics, this Wilson had an estranged wife Adeline and son Joe. However, his enhanced mental and physical abilities came from an injection of experimental Mirakuru serum. Oliver is the one who cost Slade his eye and his new love, so this Deathstroke's obsession is with the Queen family. Seemingly a blend of the best of Captain America, Wolverine, Deadpool, Bruce Wayne, Rambo, and Hamlet, he's among the DC Universe's deadliest foes. It's no wonder that fans went crazy when Ben Affleck's Twitter feed revealed footage that appeared to be Deathstroke in action. It's now confirmed that Joe Manganiello, of True Blood fame, has been cast as Slade Wilson in the Batman solo film, with possible appearance in the Justice League movie as well. Deathstroke may no longer be the Terminator, but he'll be back.
If you want to know more, go ahead and click on the name of any of these characters who are going to appear in the upcoming Justice League and Aquaman movies. Learn all about them now, because you can't say it was better in the comics unless you know what happened in the comics. If you enjoyed this video, please let us know by clicking that like button just down there, and make sure you hit subscribe so you can learn the origins and backgrounds of characters for all the upcoming DC and Marvel movies. And if there's a comic character you'd like to know the history of, just mention them in the comments or hit us up on Twitter and let us know, and we'll probably get to it eventually.